Welcome to Football Bluds TV. Today joining me is Sabesh and Kavi. So today's topic will be wrong calls in game week 3.
Yeah, wrong calls. So what is your call?
But before that, don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe button and the bell button to get our latest videos. Alright, so the first offense today, or rather the first wrong call that I feel today is the game, is it?
The United game?
The United game, yeah. Yeah, correct.
So you forgot?
Game. Yeah, I forgot
Because that
United
was the
game.
earliest
Liverpool
match.
fans, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, they played that bad, not my fault. Anyways, so yeah, the first 90 seconds of the second half, where Paul Pogba, he brought down Aaron Connolly in the
No,
penalty
he
box.
did not.
Wait lah. So, first the referee gave a yellow card and a penalty kick. But then after a while, alright, he went and viewed the VAR. He went and viewed VAR, and he came back and he overruled the first call. So at first everyone thought, you know what, it's fine and all that. But this happened right after the game, right? This BT Sport presenter, Jake Humphrey, I think was his name. Now he said that he could hear the conversation between the VAR, the person in charge of VAR.
Means
He was nearby there, right?
So from the control room and the ref.
Correct. So, but he couldn't hear half of what the ref spoke because the ref was somewhere else. But he could only hear those in charge in the VAR. Now, according to him, this is what he heard from the VAR's representative or whoever's in charge of it that day. He said that, and I quote this: what the guy said. Take a look at. No, wait. It says actually what did I say here?
So he has the code which says what.
Alright, so he said this. Have a look at this. The Brighton play initiated the contact. So, why am I highlighting this is because, and this is not just my word lah, but this is also from a former referee. What's his name here? His name is Peter Walton. He said that referees shouldn't be taking advice from VAR in a manner that like how the VAR said, like, you know, the VAR the person behind it cannot call the referee and say, hey, check this out. Like, imagine this. I'll be like, hey bro, check this video out, man. It looks like, you know, the guy initiated the foul and he already gave everything. The referee was like confident with what he saw and he decided to give a foul.
Okay.
That's it, no questions asked. Only if the referee was not sure, he should contact VAR and check with it. But in this case, he was so sure he checked with it until VAR said, you know what, hey bro, better check this out, man. You know, I saw something wrong, and it seems like as if the Brighton play initiated, which is wrong. Because what he should have done, he should have said is that, this is what I've seen, check it out. That's it. He should just suggest, not pinpoint and tell, you know what, actually he did this, you know, he did that.
Giving an advice
Correct.
to the referee.
Correct. He's not supposed to tell what's going on.
No,
That's not his job.
Actually, yeah, it shouldn't work like that because VAR, they will review the incident,
Correct.
then they will call the ref to view on the TV.
Correct.
So the ref has to take a call. It was actually meant to be a way to educate the ref. So I agree with you. The VAR shouldn't have advised the ref.
Correct. He's just supposed to assist
Because
the ref.
in the heat of the moment, maybe the VAR's influence could have made the ref to just go with it instead of, you know, spending some time to come up with his own judgment.
Correct.
But right,
So
as
that's a
a
wrong
referee,
thing to
you should
do.
have your own because you are as a referee, you are the person who makes the call. So you don't depend on another source. Of course, you have to depend on the video that you are watching.
If
but
you're unsure.
exactly, and that also yes. If you're unsure.
Yeah, you can consult them. They shouldn't be, you know.
To be honest,
But in
right,
this case, he was so sure that he actually took a yellow card and showed the player, and he said penalty. Alright, that's it. You know.
Because when you actually see it, it looks like Pogba brought the guy down.
Well, technically speaking,
Brighton player down.
technically speaking, he did clip the guy's heel. Now, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Liverpool fan and I know most MU fans probably won't be happy with it, but
Thank you for registering that.
but
I wanted to say
these
that.
are words from Joko, a former Chelsea defender, and your legend, Ferdinand. Alright? He said that as much, and this is his word, as much as I would like to see MU got a good game, a good score, a good record on that game, Paul Pogba did make the foul. He was messy. He was clumsy in the box. You know, he actually said this. You know, and he and Ashley Cole thinks that it should be a penalty spot on, because why? You can't be doing that in these kind of games. You know, when you slow down the game in slow motion, you probably don't feel it. But when you're running at that speed, right, couple of miles per hour, when you click a bit, the player has all the rights to fall down.
I wouldn't agree, because I don't think Pogba deliberately or because he was behind the guy, so on slow mo, it looked like maybe there was a little bit of contact, but I'll totally go with the call of taking back the penalty. I wouldn't say it is heat of the moment. It's not that only Pogba did that in the box.
The thing is, he was so close to him, you know. He was so.
It could have been
so
a
close
real
to him.
penalty. It could have been a real
Let's
penalty.
say there is no VAR in this situation, I think the referee would have given the penalty, because
Yes.
at first instance he actually was thinking of it, right?
Because it is.
Mm.
You know, if you were to say that, right, I'll take you back to the game before that, the week before against Chelsea, Liverpool against Chelsea, when Thiago conceded the penalty.
Yeah, almost a
Correct?
kind of a similar.
No, the thing was, he was running and he realized that the player was there, but he couldn't stop. Correct? He couldn't stop.
But that was.
And he managed to slight touch, alright? And the referee awarded a penalty. Why? Because obstruction. He basically obstructed the person's chance of scoring a goal. And that was so close. But if you look again at Paul Pogba's mistake, it was messy and sloppy because his legs are getting all tangled up. Yes, he didn't push the player, nor did he pull the player. But at that position, when you're with the striker in front of you, you gotta know, man. You gotta know you can't do the kind of stuff. You can't put your leg, you can't just hit him like that. And then, unfortunately, your legs are long, you're just gonna get his heels.
Actually, now it's because Alisson saved the penalty that you are not really reacting much about the Thiago's fall. I think if the penalty was considered, I think you would even blame Thiago on the same situation, because I feel the situation is almost the same.
For me, when I saw Thiago's fall, I say yes, too bad, unlucky. He caused it. I can't be biased and say, you know what, you shouldn't be penalty. Because
No, I wouldn't
be right.
compare Thiago's one with Pogba, because Thiago's one, you can tell it is definitely a penalty, because
There was no challenge, you know. He's running across,
there was more contact in Thiago's case than Pogba.
There was so much more minimal contact.
I don't know. I don't think there was a contact also. Maybe in slow mo it looks like, but I personally don't think there was a contact.
But honestly speaking, if there was no VAR, obviously even we watching as a real, we were like, oh shit.
Even
Alright, so-
honestly, when I was watching, I was like, why Pogba has
Exactly,
to do
yeah,
that? I was
so-
like, you know. Then when they called off the penalty and the yellow card, I was like, okay.
Alright, so never mind. So I thought it was a penalty. You guys don't. So you guys over there, comment in the section below and let us know whether it's a penalty or not. So moving on, the next controversial one.
Yes.
Mope's handball. Yes, it is a handball. So it's
Yeah.
not really controversial, isn't it?
Yeah,
But what's
that one is-
controversial here is this. Rather, I find it, most of the people found it. Is that the goal that came in from Brighton, right? Yeah. The goal that came from Brighton was on the injury time or stoppage time. Now we was given 5 minutes. Okay. So the goal came in at the 5th minute and 30 seconds of the stoppage time. That usually means that was the last chance. That's
No,
it.
actually the fall was during.
No. The fall came in after that. So my point here is this, right? So yeah, after
goal
the-
was on the 10th minute of the
The
injury
goal
time.
was after the kickoff all
Yeah.
that.
After okay, so I'll bring this up. So Brighton equalized the game during the 95th minute 30 second.
Yeah.
So by right, in all football world, we all know the next time
Should have ended.
Should have ended. He didn't pass the ball back and that's it. The referee should have blown the whistle. Okay, but that was not the case because the game played on till for another 1.5 minutes or 1 minute until MU got that corner and then Mope made the handball, which is a clear handball because you're not supposed to put your hand so high above your head. So Mope, if you're seeing this video, you know that's a clear handball. And yes, while the referee blew the whistle, according to the rules that even if after the referee blow the whistle, he can still check the VAR and still change and restart the whole gameplay.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of us would have thought, hey, the ref blew the whistle. Yes, in the past it would have worked, but today because of VAR, it's just a whole different
Because
ball
the whole
game.
fall was happening before the
Correct.
before the
It happened
Before he blowed the whistle.
Correct.
So
Before it happened. So on that part of it, nothing wrong. Mope's hand, definitely a handball. Referee did a good call there. But
a lucky win.
well, You need a bit of luck in football. But the only thing that
But
was
not after 95th minute. It's
no,
quite
that is still
disgraceful, I
luck.
say.
But the thing that happened, the thing that was really, or other people feel very injustice about it, is that after the last goal, Brighton scored. It should have been it. That's it, done. Whistle should have been blown.
Yes.
So what do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
I totally agree.
yeah, that one I'm okay with.
Sabesh.
I'm agreeing with that also. I don't think there is any other decisive things that
Brighton deserve
At least the draw.
to win.
At least the draw.
Yes.
At least the draw. Yeah.
But like you
So
said,
yeah, at least a draw. So
Well, luck wasn't on their side, lah. Let's put it that way.
I don't know, man. Like you said, I got to agree that the ref let the game to
Alright,
play on for quite
long. Yeah.
quite long. Because if you see they were actually United were actually attacking, then they dropped back slightly. They were not full on attack. They dropped back a bit. So I was actually thinking, okay, the ref is going to finish the game.
Well,
Well,
truth
actually,
be
continue
told
playing.
is when when you kick off, right? When you kick the ball naturally will go back to their court. Then instead should have blown the whistle because he just went all the way back.
no, actually, the referee would have seen maybe in injury times itself. There might be some cases which cause it to be
Well, I
like,
checked on
postponed
that.
and all
I
that.
checked on
The
that.
delays might be caused because of that. Yeah.
If it's a foul, it's only 10-second additional time. Alright.
It depends. It depends on what kind of fall it is. Like,
There's no big fault there. Everything was going
and the whole game was there was a lot of decisions for him to make. So that's why I think he had to give some time there. I mean, that,
Nah, man.
after all,
I mean,
it's still
it was
their
he
own
who
call.
chose that 5 minutes. He could have put
I
6
would have
minutes.
given 30 to 40 seconds.
Correct, but
Play
that was,
on
but
and-
you and I know that was way past 30 seconds for at least goal, for scoring goal, yeah. Anyways, so that is that. Let us know what do you think. So the next one
Yeah.
is Newcastle versus Chelsea.
I think this is the
Yeah.
Chelsea,
Chelsea.
Spurs,
Hey, sorry,
Spurs.
Newcastle and Spurs. My bad. Sorry.
I think
Newcastle
this
and
is the
Spurs.
most
Yeah.
controversial one, yeah.
So
First time host, so
yeah, no one asked that. So yeah, Newcastle and Spurs. I think it's not a handball.
I think it's handball.
I don't
It
think
is
it's-
definitely handball.
I cannot say it's a handball.
Yeah.
I got to disagree for the penalty.
For me, it was a natural position when you jump. Because if you notice, that hand actually didn't go over his head. Rather, it was in parallel to the ground. And
No,
when
his
you
hand
jump-
was bent.
No,
Like
not
yeah,
like that.
it was bent.
I saw the video multiple times. It
Dude,
was not like this.
it was bent.
No, it was banned,
was
but
like this.
it depends. Like, okay, the hand, his hand. Okay, like how I can say is like, okay, I'm Dyer now. Okay, but I'm not going to toilet all. I'm just saying, okay, I'm Dyer. So when I'm jumping, and when I'm landing, like usually when we do a simple jump,
Your hand
like
moves.
yeah, your hand moves. Yes, but you can control your hand at that moment. But at that peak of
He's
time
fighting with
where
someone next to him.
yes, and Andy Carroll. I mean, initially I thought that was offside, first of all. But
yeah.
then I noticed that they are
It was
focusing
Andy
on
Carroll,
Andy
correct.
Carroll's
He was
line,
onside.
right? So he was onside. So the thing is, when you're jumping up, if you initially jump with your hand up, then that's a handball. But he is jumping, and when he's landing is when his hand comes down. So while that movement is taking place, when something hits, he's not okay. Like if let's say you're even looking at the ball and it hits, I would have
makes sense,
agreed.
'cause you can
But
see.
he didn't even see the ball. He was looking elsewhere, and then when Andy Carroll hits, it was out of his knowledge. So for me, I feel
Yeah, it's when you fight with someone for the ball, right? Yes, you jump up. When you come down, you're gonna fight for landing stability,
No,
and you
that's
lose
not-
that. You lose that at a mid-air body fight.
No, what I feel is footballers are trained to be. Footballers are trained to control their body movements, particularly in the penalty box.
Yeah, but this
So
is not a
you
Bharath
cannot,
hand of God
you
situation.
cannot, no, you cannot make these kind of things because it was already a do or die because you are only going to win 1-0, right? So you have to be very careful. That's already a dying situation, and when Dyer does that, I totally agree with you guys, especially Sabesh when he says that Dyer jumped with his hands up, then he was coming down. Yes, and he was not aware of the ball. Yes, I understand, but they are trained to be a footballer naturally.
Yeah, but
Their
you know-
hands should be in natural position. There's no way your hand goes this high when you're, I'll say, wrestling with another guy in front. Your hand only stays here. your hand doesn't go here. Because
his hand was like this,
the
actually,
the
like
place
this.
where his
Yeah.
hand is, no one is there.
Just like this.
He
like,
has to be like this.
Yeah, the next guy is here. He's like,
Yeah.
like
This
coming
hand
down.
is
No,
here.
okay,
This
I
hand is
think
here. This
even-
one is here.
I think, but even if it's like this,
Yeah.
they would still give the handball. So
No.
regardless, I think.
What I'm saying is,
when-
But here's the thing.
the opener is on towards his left, if I'm not mistaken. So this hand is here, and this hand I don't know why.
Yeah,
He's
I-
doing
like
the
I said-
cowboy
like I
thing.
said, you're fighting for your stability. Mid-air, you lose everything already at that part.
It's a tough call, but
And like I've said, not like I've said, I haven't said it actually. Even Newcastle manager agrees that it's not a penalty. Oh, and of course he was glad that he got a penalty, like he said. He's glad that he.
no, I think he don't want Jose to
No,
feel
it's
bad.
diverted actually. Some says it's a hand and some says no, and that. Okay,
So we
for
got a
me,
split
yeah,
now,
it's a
basically.
split, yeah. But
Yeah.
but like
for
logically,
me,
you
it feels
can
like a
say,
ball to hand.
yeah.
Although
Yeah.
there's no more rules of ball to win anymore.
Yeah,
because-
that's why we are
That's the
having
problem.
this kind of confusion now.
Right.
Because before this,
Not
you can
consistent
actually
enough. Yeah.
take decision
Yeah.
based on your own discretion.
Correct.
Own discretion, as in you don't go out of the law, of course, law of the game, but you can decide like whether it's ball to hand or hand to ball. But now,
You
since
pay for
they
clumsiness.
introduced VAR, they just go by the book.
Somehow,
If
somehow
the
it-
book,
and
the
the
thing
new
is,
handball
not
rule.
every referee is
Yeah.
following the same thing.
Inconsistency.
One referee says it's a handball, the other referee might just say it's not a handball.
Yes.
So,
Which then reminds me of the Everton game. No, Lewis. Calvin Lewis. Calvin, yeah. So, if you see that ball, if you see that game, right? To me, it's a clear penalty. And why I say that, and not just me, a lot of people say it's penalty because when the ball comes to him, right, he wants to chest the ball. Alright, that's fine. No problem. You chest the ball, you're gonna do like this, or you're gonna do like this. It's up to you, right? But his hand literally shifted to concave inwards, and so the first thing that the ball touched was his forearm, and then bounced to his chest, and then he got to clear it. So in that situation, it definitely has to be a handball.
when it's
So where's the consistency?
Before this we spoke about this also, right? Before the podcast, this is also another 50-50 because he was deliberately moving the hand.
Correct. He moved. He shifted.
So
that one depends on how the ball.
Yes.
No,
Because
the thing is,
you
the
expect
ball-
the ball to come here. I mean, anyone who chest, right? Usually
I think
chest,
anyone who wants to chest and make sure the ball falls right in front of them, they will actually go this
I
way.
can say
Yeah,
that
but
for
true.
Yeah.
But true.
But
the thing is, I
It
watched
hit
the
his
video.
hand.
I watched a video on 0.25 just to see how the ball literally moved. Alright. So if I thought, maybe he got his chest and then he bounced off and then it cleared. But then when I really looked at it and really observed from it, I noticed his hands was to me, it looked like a perfect position for you to chest the ball. Like he was enough. The ball's coming, he was like so low, he was done. But then his hands started to move, both his arms moved in so close that the ball has got no escape on the side. So which means to see he has actually blocked the person's shot. So the ball was supposed to go to the keeper, but instead it was blocked by his forearm, then to his chest, and then he cleared.
It's very 50-50.
I think there's
it
another call
depends
also
on
in the
ref.
same game. Danny Ward, the ball actually when I think one of the Everton player, I'm not sure who, I think Richarlison or Kevin Lewin, they hit the ball. His hand was down. It hits his hand, and then the referee gave a penalty for that. So in that kind of circumstances, there's nothing you can
Nothing
do.
you can do, yeah, 'cause
Your
your
hand
hand
is
is side.
down.
Yeah.
That one,
So
don't
that's
know.
why it's very inconsistent.
Yes.
One referee would give one, and then they
But the
go
thing,
on.
like he said, players are trained to be played properly, correct? So they are aware of. So what do you do when the ball comes towards you? You tuck your hand behind your
away.
back, right? Because he's not jumping at that instant. Nor was he running. I believe he wasn't
you
running.
have to tuck.
So you gotta tuck your hand behind.
Yeah.
If you can't put your hand on the side there, of course it's gonna be obstruction of path. So you gotta put it behind your back. In that manner. That's what I feel.
There's been so many
Yeah.
controversies.
So yeah,
I think
this whole game week, there's a lot of controversies.
Yeah,
Until
we
from the
also
first
have-
game to the last
yes,
game.
I think
Chelsea.
they are. That's why they are amending the rules
Chelsea,
slightly.
the West Brom Chelsea.
Howard.
Yeah,
Howard's-
Howard's. Oh, that one I totally
That
agree.
led to a goal by Tammy Abraham. That should have been disallowed.
Chelsea
any
don't
day,
deserve.
anytime,
Yeah,
The ball came from up air, right? Mid-air.
yeah,
And Howard decided to use his hand to stop the ball. That is not allowed. Any day, anytime.
yeah.
That
VAR
should
should
be a
be
goal. Yeah.
consistent.
So
So
that's when VAR should have made noise.
I think they should.
I think there was this
Amend the
stats, right?
rules.
I think we now
20
only in
20
third,
penalties in
yeah,
3
only
weeks.
in third match we
Yeah.
have already
Correct.
reached. I think 2017, 18.
Yeah.
That year. I think.
If we keep going on the same way,
Then
the
every
past 3
team,
weeks,
every team will have Pala and Fernandez.
Yeah, it is predicted that first of all, that's inaccurate fact. Because it's not FIFA
It
lah.
might be accurate if they don't amend the rules.
Yeah,
No,
correct.
no, no. Hold on a second. You see, okay, never mind. I'm not gonna digress to that part of it.
Yeah, that one is a different day. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
If it keeps going on this way, right? Prediction is gonna be 250 penalties for this season alone.
That's a lot,
Easily.
man.
And that'll be the highest.
And I'm not happy with how it's actually killing the game.
No,
It is.
it can create a lot of decisive moments. You know, like let's say
Correct.
that team is going to win the league,
Right.
and a small simple decision like
Can
this
cause a slip. Yeah.
can cause the slip like
I
that.
think just to deviate a bit,
I heard it.
so just to deviate a bit, I think this VAR played a very important role in Euro where Portugal actually went so far.
Yes,
So this might happen in
Can happen.
EPL also.
which is why.
Yeah.
Okay, I have another point. Which is why in World Cup there are no English referees.
Because the English referee are the
They are
worst.
not up to the mark.
Yeah.
I think Howard Webb was
Only
the last.
Mark Clattenburg was up to the mark. Then after he,
Howard Webb was the last.
Howard Webb was
last.
once upon a time.
Only once.
but
and
I, Howard Webb. But I don't really
last.
fancy that guy.
See, the thing about VAR is it's supposed to assist referee. You agree?
Yes,
But ever since
it is
VAR
called
came, referee
video
was-
assistant referee for a reason.
Yeah.
But ever since VAR has arrived, right, referee became times 10 stupider.
I agree.
No offense.
I don't think they are learning.
I
VAR
maybe-
should
yeah.
actually teach them, make them grow, make
I
right
think they should
decision.
get some younger referees nowadays. All the
I don't
referees
know.
are aging, man.
They should just teach.
Who's-
I think the
who's-
female linesmen are doing very well.
Who's the guy? But the day, what game was that?
No, not all the females. Also.
Who's the Atkinson guy? Martin Atkinson,
Martin Atkinson.
the ball player.
Anyways, so our last one will be Liverpool Arsenal.
Okay.
That
I don't see any
that
handball.
Sadio Mane elbow and the Jota's goal that came in.
Sadio Mane, for me, it's yellow.
Every Arsenal fan is screaming for a red card, or rather, every delusional Arsenal
Okay,
fan.
I have
Delusional,
one point.
yes,
Yeah.
that's
I
the
have
word.
one point. Okay, when the game started, Liverpool pressed very well.
Correct.
Mane made one tackle to Bellerin before the Tierney incident was later.
Mm-hmm.
First, he made one tackle to Bellerin. That should be already a yellow, because the way he tackled was very bad.
Yeah, agreed.
And then the game continued, and then he went and did that to Tierney,
Correct.
which obviously is a yellow for me also.
Yes.
So that already, if he would have given
That's
the
already a
yellow
double
for
yellow
the Bellerin there, I think he wouldn't even do that to Bellerin.
True.
Well, no one made noise about that, but everyone is shouting.
But I
for
don't
this.
think the ref
But,
warned him for the first
no, he
offense
didn't.
If
also.
He didn't
you,
want.
Yeah.
but if you see in a different angle of the image, not image, even the video, first angle shows like he's trying to just body, so
Yeah.
it's clear yellow.
Correct.
But the other angle, right? He's actually
Feels like he's
actually
throwing his hand.
and his hand is fisted, like that.
Yes.
So
Alright,
I think
so-
that's the point that Arsenal fans are having. Like,
See, for me,
should be a red
the,
card.
the way I see it is this. First of all, yes, he had no fair warning prior to the Bellerin one. So for him to get yellow card is a bit at early stage. But if he's to get any card, it should be yellow card. Okay. Secondly, when we slow down the pace, we lose a lot of things in that moment. We lose the momentum of it. So what's happening here is Tierney is running behind Mane. Now, as a striker, as a forward, when someone runs behind you, right, you're gonna protect with your body. So naturally, you would, stick up your hands or something like that.
Yeah.
You would so that you can get that, that grip on the ground
he was actually
Correct.
expecting Tierney
to push him.
push.
So he did that. And secondly, he did not elbow his face. Although Tierney fell on the ground and was holding his face, it was just his shoulder. It was just like this area here. He didn't even touch his face at all. But the way Tierney rolled on the floor, and people are saying that he's got pure class, right? He's no class at all because he's doing that. He was holding his face literally like as if Mane bashed his face, something like that. So to me, that was an over exaggeration that he did, and that was not a face hit at all.
If it was a game, if it was a red card, I think the whole game was changing, and also there would be a even bigger controversial after all.
To be fair, we put 10 men down. Arsenal
I
still be the
agree.
same.
I agree with your point.
Sharvin, if you're watching, he said 10 men also Arsenal cannot beat.
They were nowhere. You all watched the game.
Yeah, I watched the game. I was wondering, luckily United wasn't playing them.
I think how the ref could have done is that he should have warned
Warned for the
Mane.
Bellerin.
Yes, so
Yeah.
he would control his actions.
Right.
So by doing that, you don't actually slow down the game.
Right.
but you tell him that
He was on fire.
you have to be careful.
He was on fire. But yeah, that's that lah. And and Jota.
Jota's one is similar to Calvert-Lewin, you know. Calvert-Lewin doing like that. Jota's one was this side.
The difference is Jota didn't move his hand inwards.
No, the difference is that one Everton fella, this one is Liverpool fella. That's the difference.
If you want to say it that way, you can lah, but it's not lah. You know.
So it's Merseyside.
But yeah, I mean, even I watched it first time, I didn't see it's a handball.
I
but
don't see it's
It's not a handball.
Yeah.
But I'm saying because the ball touched the hand. I mean, where is supposed to put a ball? Where is supposed to put a hand at that point of time?
Bro, we can move on. It's not a hand.
All right, so that's it for this session now.
Stay
And that's
tuned.
it. And
Stay
stay
tuned.
tuned.